This is Torah, what I'm telling you. The story is Torah. It's not a story I'm telling you. Whenever I tell those stories, it's Torah. It's not just to tell you a story. So my shkiach used to give a shir. He would give a shir. The shir was an hour and 45 minutes every day. So regular shir was the shir right under Marosh Shiva. So when he would say a shir, if you would ask a question, unless the question was pertinent to the moment, firstly, he didn't want you to ask the question. If you wait till later, what are you interrupting the shir with your question? Because firstly, when you ask the question, what happens if everybody's not listening? So you're wasting everybody's time, right? So if you could wait till afterwards, you'd have to interrupt. And if a person asked a question where it wasn't well thought out, and the question was had no basis to it, he would lace into this person that the person had an experience, that the next time, even when he wanted to ask a good question, he'd think about it 100 times before he get it out of his mouth. That's the degree he would not tolerate this kind of thing. You know, you have what to ask it. You have a comment to make? If it can wait for later, let's say it later. You understand what I'm talking about over here? Off the cuff nonsense. He's going out the window. Let's get going. I mean, it's not appropriate. We're trying to learn over here. It's enough the guys waste time at the coffee, you know, waiting, schmoozing over there for 3 minutes. Okay? It's on tape. Okay. We left off Tzadi Beis. Maschoro. Gemara says before that if a person denies a Talmud halacha, he's stealing his heritage, and also he deserves to be pierced. He's to be cursed. That the Ubrim Shmei Imon, that the unborn fetuses, they curse the person. So what happens if the person does teach him the halacha? Tzadi Beis and Aleph. Maschoro. What's schar? What is his level of schar when you give the person? A Talmud comes and asks you when you teach him, what is the schar? Omer Rava, Omer Rav Sheishes, Zocha lebirchus Yosef. He merits the brachas that Yosef received. Shenemar, ubrocha lerosh mashbir. The bracha came upon the head of the mashbir. Who's the mashbir? Yosef or mashbir. Bein mashbir el Yosef. Shenemar, Yosef ashalet al oretz. He was the ruler. Hu mashbir l'chol amoretz. He was the sustainer. He fed. Shever, right? Shever. He's shever mitzvah. Shever means grain. He was the sustainer of all the people. It's interesting. Well, firstly, you have to see the word. It says kol hamoneh halacha. If you're moneh halacha mi talmido, then you're stealing his heritage. You deserve to be cursed. What does it say? Kol hamoneh Torah mi talmido. Right? Doesn't say Torah. Halacha. Right? You don't teach him halacha, then it's what? Then he deserves the curses. Then you're stealing his heritage. But what about if it's not halacha? It seems to be not. So there you're delinquent in your chiv of Talmud Torah. A person has a chiv to teach another person Torah, you're not teaching him Torah. But this is something specific. It's hamoneh halacha mi talmido, right? That's the language of the Gemara. Right? The Gemara speaks of brachos and any other location we speak about that Sherma Matsuyona Ba'alocha, right? That it's the equivalent of what? Where is the Shekhinah? It's the location where they learn Shmaitz Lebed Hilsa, where you have definitive conclusion of what the halacha is. That's what it is. Shmaitz Lebed Hilsa. It's the halacha, right? We speak about Lumina Maslasos. It says God la Talmud Sha Talmud Mevid L'Dei Maseh. We see all this. Everything has to come, has to filter down into Lamasa. That's Torah. What is real Torah? Torah is not. We speak abstract. Theoretical situations. We're talking about something which could be applied. If it cannot be applied, that is not the ultimate of Torah. Torah is what? Shmaitz libid hilsa. God la talma talvud mevli maseh. Right? We have the more in Kedushin in the first paragraph. Right? Why is Torah so great? The limit of Torah because it brings to actualization, to do the mitzvah. So it's moneh halocha mipi talmido. It's a Torah which gives it's that. What about if I teach you halacha, but the way I communicate to you, it wasn't sufficient, you should appreciate its value, and you're not going to do the halacha. You're not going to do it. No, no. It has to be taught to him in a way where he's going to have his heritage. You're going to deliver. The learning, to do the action. The learning, its value is if it's to facilitate that. But let's see, the learning is not to facilitate that. Doesn't have that value. Doesn't have the value. This is Lumad Amnas Lasos. It's yesterday's Daf Yomi. At the end of the page it says, Ein Torah. Gemara has a question. It says something that's considered terrible, tragic. It says Ein Torah. Someone wants to know what does Ein Torah means. It says a person studies Torah for intellectual pursuit, not for the actual lasos. He's not Lumad Amnas Lasos. It's a terrible thing. It quotes a posuk. Something which is tragic for the person. No. That's in the halachal ma'isa. Halachal ma'isa means that if you're confronted with those situations, you know exactly how to deal with that, right? You know, basa b'cholov. You know, so you learn what's basa b'cholov. You're not permitted. So what are you supposed to? So you have to put something. So somebody should want to give you a gift, a basa b'cholov, and you don't take it. All right, that's not it. When you're confronted with a situation, what's permitted, what's not permitted. But so you say, so let's learn let's learn Kitzur Shulchan Aruch all day. Yeah. The answer is because it's to be able to have a grasp and understanding of what that halach is, you have to have the whole background. So the background is Amanas Lasos. That gives it a whole different value. Okay? Whatever it's holding means. What monea. Let's say you could have taught it better, and for your own reason, you shortchanged the Talmud. The Talmud may not even understand he's being shortchanged. Right? You know what you should have taught him, but you don't want to bother. It's too much of an effort for you. He said, we're going to go further. And really, you didn't give him a sufficient understanding of what that's monea. You denied him something which he has a right to know. You did not deliver the heritage. You know, a person goes and he's a delivery service, and he has to deliver 10 cartons, and delivers 9. Well, I made the delivery. What do you mean? You didn't deliver what you were supposed to deliver. You're supposed to deliver all 10, not 9 cartons. So if it's his heritage, his right. What's his right? His right is to know based on his capacity. Did you present it in his capacity? You should be able to understand it. You didn't do it. You shortchanged them. That's still monea. Okay, let's see. No, that's something else. First of all, that's something else. That's offense. Of course, if you give a person, and he doesn't fully appreciate what it is, he's going to abuse it. It's the other way over there. The person is going to cause the person to do the wrong thing. The wrong thing. Sometimes says you teach Torah, but don't give him the reason, because if he knows the reason, he's going to apply it in the situation, right? Which is not. This is not tochacha. This is teaching. It's true. But let's say this person's definitely doing something wrong. Definitely. Person is, you have a guest over and he takes a pen. Right? There's no ifs or buts. He's not permitted to take a pen. Okay. It's like the Chofetz Chaim always says, you know, people, they play the humility game. They see things doing. Who am I to tell him? Right? How much do I know? Am I such a Talmud Chacham? The person's doing something blatantly wrong. You have a mitzvah. We're not saying you should hit him over the head. Say something. The man is not aware that it's wrong. So tell him it's wrong. So you say something. No, if he's going to laugh at something else, he's going to lash out at you. Something else. Had many cases here at Yad Ha'ara many years ago. There were certain people, they didn't know you're not supposed to shave with a razor. You're not permitted. So I went over to the person. The person never knew. The story goes back a very long time, almost 30 years ago. I said, you realize? I said, do you shave with an electric shaver or with a razor? He says, razor. Straight out. I mean, didn't know. So I say to her, I said, you realize every time you shave with a razor, you're in violation of 5 negative commandments every single day. He said, why? What? I said, the Torah said, I took out a chumash, showed him, you're not permitted, this and that. Since then, he hasn't been using, uses his electric shaver. Then with the sideburns. So I was once in Israel, and this person was a very baltshuva, him and his wife. And they were in Israel. It was a painful thing. Their son was going to be bar mitzvah, and the son had cancer. And there was even a question whether the son was going to live till his bar mitzvah. And they came from Ottawa, Canada. And they were there, and they were supporters of Ezer Mitzion, which is medical, And one of the heads asked me if I could meet them at a certain hotel, meet them, introduce myself, to maybe be able to, speak, give them an understanding what Ezer Mitzion is, that they were supporters, but they'd be greater supporters. So I see the man, he's shaved, his sideburn is cut above his ear. So I see clearly, I mean, the man wants to do the right thing. He's about tshuva. Doesn't know any better. So I said, I noticed. I said, I noticed his sideburn is cut pretty high. I said, according to Jewish law, Torah law, you're not supposed to cut your sideburns above a certain point. He says, I don't know anything about it. And he was learning with a rabbi in Ottawa. He was learning with some kind of rabbi. So the rabbi, received big money from him. He wasn't going to say anything. So I said to him, if he doesn't know that, I said, by the way, do you use an electric shaver? Or do you use a razor? Does he use a razor? Nobody ever told me I'm not supposed to use an electric shaver. This story goes back 6 years ago. So I says, if my rabbi would have said to use electric, I'd use an electric shaver. It's no big deal. So he made a commitment then. He's not using a razor. He's going to cut his sideburns. They're going to let him grow to that point. So I said to the person, I said, what's the big deal? You see a man not doing the right thing. It's clear. It's ignorance. He doesn't know. He's a good person. He wants to do the right thing. You have to tell him. So what did you save him? 5 lavim every day, just for the face. And the sideburns, that's another 2. 7, he should not over in what's his name? The haircut is only, and because he always shaves the razor even higher up. He saved him 7 lavim every day, and he shouldn't be in violation of. What kind of service is to the person? So you don't have to hit the person over the head. Okay.